The GSLP Liberals say they would deliver more for heritage than any other. At a press conference, John Cortes asserted his commitment to heritage and highlighted his party's achievements so far. Among them, the Heritage and Antiquities Act, which provides for heritage protection and established the National Museum and National Archives. The new act, Dr. Cortes said, now protects 218 buildings and monuments, with the council now considering 137 further sites. But in order to guarantee protection, the introduction of legislation is key, something the GSLP Liberals are prioritising.
We now have Gorham's Cave complex protected by law, which is the only country in the world that has protected a World Heritage Site by law. We are also going to pass laws to protect the Mount with the Mount Act, which will replicate what we did for Alameda Gardens and for the Commonwealth Park, which the GST did not support in Parliament. And we're going to create the Gibraltar National Park, which will rebrand Gibraltar's heritage and natural assets and promote it on an international stage. And we will also pass the National Trails Act, which will protect our walks on the Upper Rock and other areas.
At the second of their daily press conferences, legislation was once again highlighted as one of the priorities to continue to develop and enhance the gaming sector in Gibraltar. Albert Isola hit out at the GST for ignoring the gaming sector in their manifesto and for the second consecutive election, he said. Mr. Isola says it was utterly ridiculous for the GST to ignore gaming when it accounts for 25% of the ROC's GDP, employs 3,500 people and provides £100 million of revenue. He says a GSLP Liberal government would continue working with the gaming community to secure its future.
A close relationship with the Gambling Commission. We've signed an MOU. The review of our legislation, which is pretty much ready. We started that 3 years ago and then pressed pause because of Brexit, but now we're coming to the conclusion of that work to ensure that the legislative framework that we have for gaming is fit for purpose and fit for the next 20 years, as the last one has been for the last 20 years.
Mr. Isola also highlighted the international recognition and acclaim of Gibraltar's DLT regulatory framework. He pledges he would continue to work closely with the sector to continue to identify new services.
And the offer is, let's sit round a table together, regulator, private sector, government, look through every single product that we have and how we can improve it. And that will be the work of the next 4 years in financial services if we are given the privilege of being re-elected.
You can find more on these policies at generations.gi.